today with Southeast Missouri State University Dean of Students, Dr. Debbie Below, about the diversity at the university and how a project video has opened a new level of dialogue. Southeast student Sindupa De Silva came to Cape Girardeau from Sri Lanka 5 years ago, and we'll be asking him how it has changed his life and his future. Plus, Big Brothers Big Sisters Senior Program Director Becky Simpfer will share the story of Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southeast Missouri and how your involvement could positively impact our community. That's all ahead on Cape Chronicle.
Whether it's for business or just a getaway, Cape Air is your wings in the Midwest. Cape Air serves 6 destinations, including Kirksville, Quincy, Fort Leonard Wood, Cape Girardeau, Marion, and Owensboro. Fly from Cape Girardeau to St. Louis with fares starting at just $49 each way. With easy connections through Lambert St. Louis International Airport, Cape Air connects you to the Midwest and the world. Book today at capeair.com or call 800-CAPE-AIR and enjoy the ride.
Welcome to Cape Chronicle. I'm Audrey Kane. With campus demonstrations and political posturing about diversity making headlines across the U.S., Southeast Missouri State University is working to focus on both the needs of students and staff, and Dean of Students, Dr. Debbie Below, is here to explain how. Thanks so much for coming, Debbie.
Thank you for having me.
Well, so we have, I feel we have a very diverse student body. But how is that diversity important to Southeast?
Well, maybe we could begin by qualifying when we talk about a diverse student body, where that is in the context of Missouri today. And the diversity of Southeast very much reflects the diversity of the state that we live in. And when you think about learning and working and living, you want to learn in an environment where when you enter that world of work, you will be surrounded, you will be very comfortable walking into a diverse work environment. So the diversity of today's student body is really meant to reflect the larger world that our students are going to enter when they leave us.
Now, recently there was a student project about diversity. How has it was shared in a big way on social media? How has that played back into the university and what our new president was trying to accomplish with the diversity meetings with staff and the efforts to reach students?
It began now 18 months ago, the formation of the President's Task Force on Diversity Education. We've just wrapped that work up, and so there are now recommendations that are out. There are 9 recommendations, and the campus is beginning to mull those over, to think about those, to determine which items could be implemented quickly, which may need to be expanded, which need further consideration. And so we're going through that process as a campus right now.
Have you all determined which is the most important of those recommendations as far as getting that one taken care of immediately?
Yes. So the very first recommendation had to do with a commitment of leadership at the institution, and we've already issued what we call a request for proposals, and that's to hire a diversity consultant to come in and work with the university's leadership. That includes student leadership, student organizations, but of course the administration, the Board of Regents, the faculty leadership, the deans. So several individuals, probably about 80 in all, would spend about a year learning what it means to develop the cultural competence of a campus. And when you think about that, we entered this process and many of those on the task force really couldn't articulate what it means to be culturally competent and to begin to think about the diversity of all of the students, the faculty and staff who make up this institution of 12,000 students and almost 1,500 to 2,000 employees, whatever that number is.
You talk about being culturally competent. Has the community, because you talked about the regents and things like that, and those are all made up of people from our community and other communities in Missouri. Has the community come together with the university? Have you all seen a response from the university, especially about that diversity video?
Yeah, the video. The video has now been shared well over 150,000 times. I finally quit looking, but I was very intrigued by just how popular that video was. We have seen that video shared nationwide. We've seen schools all over the country want to replicate that video. And you know, many times I will hear individuals say, everybody was represented in that video and it was so authentic. But at the same time, we've had a number of students say to us, I didn't feel like I was represented in that video, and I want to tell my story. And that's really a beautiful thing if you think about it. I hate to say it in that way, but it is, because now we have others coming forward and saying, I want to share what it's like to be a student from this particular country or this particular background or this particular advantage or disadvantage point.
Well, now when we set up to speak with you, one of the things that we did talk about was, how can someone like you or I, who is clearly Caucasian, female, how can we talk about diversity and really know what it means? But I know that you have a background as far as helping students succeed. And I read a little bit about your dissertation that talked about, you know, a little bit more than the rest of us about how minorities and people of race or color or creed, how they succeed as students, or how much it takes for them to succeed.
So, well, right, that was my graduate research work, and it had to do with the way that students based on race and ethnicity progress through college. The thing that has stuck with me most through that process is that when individual students have a chance to spend time with faculty outside of class, and I would extend that to staff as well, but the research spoke specifically to faculty, their chance of improving their grades and staying in college, engaging with the campus, were stronger. And that really, when you think about it, it boils down to you and I sitting down and having a conversation about what's important to you, if you're the student and I'm that faculty member. And that's really what led to this task force forming, was us reaching out to the students and saying, if you ever want to talk, we're here. And the students responding and said, we're ready to talk.
It speaks volumes of not only the students at Southeast, but the administration, that you all have gone to such lengths to really incorporate what the students are feeling. What kind of feedback do you get from international students that have not only seen the video, but have come back multiple years to study it at Southeast?
As our international student population has matured, we see more advocacy for the needs of international students. Faculty have advocated for the needs of students for a long time. They spend more time with our students than any of us do, so they see firsthand where those students are achieving and where they're struggling, and they haven't been shy to share that. Students sometimes are a little shy to share that, and so having things like that, well, whether it's the task force or particularly the video, we now do see individual students coming forward and saying, I want to talk about my experience. And sometimes it's as simple as staying in the residence halls over breaks, and what can we do to make that a little bit less bureaucratic? That's just one example. But the more we listen, the more we realize what we can do to improve the campus experience for the student.
One of the things that we've talked about here on Cape Chronicle in the past is international students interacting with the community and having the ability to put on an event and prepare meals. And you just mentioned to me right before we started that you've opened a dialogue with Chartwells to help them create meals that other people can experience that are from their native countries. So what's going to happen with that?
Well, I would be remiss if I didn't say, if it weren't for the community, our international students wouldn't have the experience that they have here. And when I attend the events, and I don't get to all of them, I probably don't get to many of them, because the students have a tremendously large number of events. Really, every weekend there's something happening. And they're always connecting to a church or a local organization or just a family who have opened their doors, opened their homes, opened their churches, opened their gymnasiums to host these students and let them often cook in their facilities. But yes, now that we're at almost 1,200 international students, so many events, Chartwells has said, you know, our kitchen is your kitchen, and we want to find a way to help you prepare that food here. So we continue to make that happen for the students.
That's fantastic. Well, Debbie Bilo, thank you so much for coming by to talk with us, not only about diversity, but about the student interaction with the administration that we have here at Southeast.
Thanks you, Audra.
Again. We've been talking with Dr. Debbie Bilo, Dean of Students for Southeast Missouri State University. On the way next, imagine traveling halfway around the world to study at a university where you had never been. Sandupa De Silva will tell us what it's been like for him. That's next on Cape Chronicle.
A healthy smile is a powerful thing. It deserves Delta Dental, the nation's leading dental benefits provider. We make it easy to protect your smile and keep it healthy.
My daddy says that we need to be prepared in case of emergency. Sometimes scary things can happen, like an earthquake or even just a bad storm. That can make a lot of people scared or hurt. If a lot of people get scared or hurt, it can take a long time before rescuers can get to us. But my daddy volunteers for CERT. He says that being prepared isn't just about us, but everyone in our community. He works with other volunteers in our neighborhood to make sure everyone is okay, like Mrs. Johnston next door. She lets me play with her cats. If anyone is hurt or needs help, he can help them to a safe place, which saves the ambulance a lot of time when it comes to pick them up. Daddy says that CERT helps him learn a lot about helping us stay safe in a disaster. And there's even fun supplies we can use. I'm glad my daddy volunteers for CERT and helps people. And when bad things happen, I'm not scared because we're prepared.
Welcome back to Cape Chronicle. I'm Audra Kane. Cape Girardeau has seen a greater influx of international university students over the past 5 years, and Sindupa De Silva is here to share some of his experiences at Southeast Missouri State University. Thank you so much for coming, Sindupa. To be honest, this isn't the first time that we've met, and when we met 5 years ago, it was at an international student dinner, and we've spoken with Dr. Debbie Bilo about international student events. And you were looking for, well, they were looking for a way to really make students feel at home as soon as they arrived, because when you arrived here, what happened? I mean, when you showed up, was there somewhere for you to go? Was there something for you to eat? Was it scary? What was it like?
Well, for each individual student, it's a different experience. Personally, when I came over here, I was fortunate enough to have a friend who was already attending Southeast a semester before me. So I was able to go stay with him, and he was kind enough to feed me and take care of me for a few days until after orientation, and I was able to find my own accommodations. However, from the university side, for students that come to live on campus, the Office of Residence Life ensures that all the students have are met with all the needs, from housing to meal services, and every year they develop something new. For example, this year they were actually preparing getting the International Center to provide meals through Chartwells for the students who arrive really early, when you think about time-wise, you know, closer to Christmas, whereas orientation starts like January 11th. So the university has been doing different programs and different things over the years to try to develop it.
Well, and I forgot to mention when we started that you were from Sri Lanka.
Yes.
Okay, so was your family, were they scared about you coming here, or how was that as far as leaving there and coming here and them not knowing where you were going to be?
That's actually quite scary, to be honest. I'm the first of my family to come to the United States, and my mom, even though she was scared, she didn't really say too much until we had to part our ways at the airport. That's when she started to cry.
Well, and it speaks volumes, the good, I'm assuming that you would say your experience here has been positive.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
What would you, I know that you're getting a stellar education as a Southeast graduate myself. I'm a big fan. What is your major that you're studying?
Well, I finished my undergraduate degree in wildlife conservation biology, and I am due to graduate this May with my master's degree in environmental science. And
are you planning on going back to Sri Lanka?
I do plan to pursue my PhD, but I wish to work and gain some field experience, and after which, now I tell my mom I'll come back home. But I want to work, travel to another country, get more experiences in the field of conservation, have an impact, and then eventually go back home and work from there.
Well, and the conservation efforts in America, do they outweigh those that you've found in Sri Lanka?
Without a doubt. That's one of the main reasons why I came over here, all the way down from Roosevelt, President Roosevelt, all his efforts to, you know, bring up conservation efforts in the United States, and the state of Missouri itself, all the things that the Department of Conservation does, that just compared to Sri Lanka, just immense. And the opportunities that it presents, and whether it be from research to public outreach and awareness, it's just comparatively, it's so great, and it just presents so much opportunity that I couldn't resist coming over here.
I can only imagine, because I haven't visited Sri Lanka. For Americans and for Missourians, the diversity that we experience is very different from what you might experience in Sri Lanka. I'm guessing there are so many different people of all different backgrounds. Has it been growing in the past 5 years that you've been here? Have you seen the diversity on campus grow?
Yes, I can tell for a fact. My first semester of college over here, that was the fall of 2011, the number of international students, or the diversity of international students, was not the same as it is today. We have grown so much since then, and Southeast has become very inclusive and has integrated all these different students into different events, whether it be, or different activities on campus, or wherever you might go, whether it be a kiosk at the Student Financial Services office. You'll see a face over there, and it's spread out to where we have a family of our own here at Southeast. And I don't only mean international students, but a family of domestic and international students. And we continue to grow every year.
It's very exciting to hear you speak so positively, because it hasn't always been like that. Has your experience in the community been good, as far as open homes and them embracing you?
Well, Audra, from personal experience, knowing you has always been positive. Personally, it has always been positive for me. I've been very fortunate to meet some amazing people as yourself in the city of Cape, and I believe that a lot of other students have felt the same way. Cape Girardeau has been home even before my time over here for a lot of international students that have come to Southeast and have either pursued their education or their careers beyond here. And I definitely believe that it is inclusive and very family-like to everyone.
Well, and thank you. That was very nice of you to compliment me, but I have to say that we have been blessed to know you and a lot of the other international students that have come. It all began with teaching some kids from Nepal, wasn't it? How to swim. That was how it all started with us. So, well, thank you so much for stopping by, Sindupa.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's always a pleasure to see you. Sindupa De Silva has been sharing his experiences with us all the way from Sri Lanka to Southeast Missouri. After the break, we'll hear from Becky Simfer of Big Brothers Big Sisters on a program that's near and dear to her heart. That's next on Cape Chronicle.
At Southeast Missouri State University, you're here for more than a degree. You're here to do whatever it takes. We don't just learn from textbooks. We learn from each other. That's why we tackle our challenges, fuel innovation, and never settle. We're giving you the tools to learn, to lead, to grow, to do.
This is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
This is Cape Chronicle, and I'm Audra Kane. We are joined now by Big Brothers Big Sisters Senior Program Director Becky Simfer. Welcome, Becky.
Thank you, Audra.
So nice of you to be here. Now, we spoke earlier today, and you said you are not a newcomer to Cape Girardeau and not a newcomer to Big Brothers Big Sisters, but you are new to the position of Senior Program Director. So Why would someone want to do what you're doing?
Great question. I actually love what I do. As long as I can remember, I've just always been really drawn to working with children and families, and specifically Big Brothers Big Sisters is just a really great fit for me.
So there are an estimated 100,000, I did my research, there are an estimated 100,000 children in eastern Missouri who are in serious need of a big brother or big sister. Who are these children?
These children are everyday students that we see in Cape Girardeau Public Schools and within the community, in Cape Girardeau County, any county that you can find in eastern Missouri. They're your average children.
So they're not necessarily children that need to be adopted?
No. Absolutely not.
What is it that they need?
So our kids and our families are just looking for an extra positive role model, an extra positive mentor to be able to help support that child.
So when you say support them, so they need an extra role model. What do you do as a volunteer for Big Brothers Big Sisters? What if I say I wanted to become a big, what would I be doing?
So I can give you a great example of what I'm going to do with my little sister this evening. We're going to have a craft night. She's had a rough week and she just wants to kind of talk and just hang out. The activities can just be as simple as running errands, doing something that you both enjoy doing together, like going to the movies, working on homework, going to the library. It's just little everyday things.
Okay, so say I wanted to become a big, either a big brother or a big sister. I can't become a brother, but I can become a sister. What is the process that you have to go through to accomplish this?
Yeah, so it's really an easy process to get started in the enrollment process for Big Brothers Big Sisters. You can start out by looking at our website to learn more about the agency, and you can also fill out an application right online. After that, after we receive your application, there is an interview that is completed with our staff in our office, and we also do different background checks and also get references.
Okay, so how would you rate your experience as a big brother, big sister? What has it meant to you?
It means the world to me. I've been matched with my little sister for about 1.5 years now, and the biggest reward that I can find in it is just being a trusted friend for her. Just being someone that she can consistently rely and depend on, just to be there for her no matter what.
And what have you seen? Have you seen any changes in her over the past 1.5 years?
I have. She just definitely, I can tell that she just feels comfortable being herself and expressing just who she is. She just kind of feels that sense of acceptance, I think.
What kind of programs, and since you're new to the position, how long have you been the senior program director?
Just a few months, but I've been with the agency for almost 3 years.
What kind of programs, when you, as a program director, what does that mean? What kind of programs do you institute with Big Brothers Big Sisters?
So my job entails just overseeing the whole direction of the program here in Cape Girardeau. So I supervise our relationship specialists in the office and also in our enrollment department. So that department is actively seeking new volunteers and families to participate in the program and just give direction to that area.
So you mentioned families. Is that something that as a big, that you can you introduce a little to your family to have activities within a group setting?
Sure. We do put a lot of emphasis on that one-on-one time, and that's really important for a relationship to develop. But of course, you know, you're going to have a relationship with your little and a deep friendship, and you're going to naturally want to introduce them to your family and your loved ones.
Now, some of the activities, I know that there are some programs like, I've heard the term ABCs. What does that mean?
So ABC Today is a new initiative that we launched district-wide here in Cape Girardeau just this year. And what that initiative does is we look at students in the Cape Girardeau public school system. We look at their attendance, their behavior, and their reading and math scores. And we celebrate those students who are doing really great in those areas. And we also help support those students that maybe are struggling in one or more of those areas.
Okay, so what are some other programs? ABCs is one. What are there some other programs that Big Brothers Big Sisters has that can help? Maybe something that I could be involved in. If I can't be a Big Brother,
Sure.
Big Sister, what's something else I can get involved
Sure.
in?
We do have our annual fundraiser. It's our largest fundraiser that the agency has. It's called Bowl for Kids' Sake. The Cape areas is over the summer, so you can find out more about that opportunity on our website.
And what's the website address?
It's bbbcmo.org.
bbbcmo.org. Okay. Well, is there anything else about Big Brothers Big Sisters that you would like to share with anybody that's watching right now? Things that what it means to you or what it means to the kids in our community.
Yeah, again, it's just such a great opportunity to help support, give a child in need just an extra positive support. A lot of our kids are just seeking that one-on-one attention from an adult, so they love spending time with their bigs, and we're always looking for new Big Brothers and Big Sisters.
If there's someone who has a child that maybe needs the program, how do they get their child into the Big Brothers Big Sisters program?
Yeah, definitely very easy for our families to contact us just at our office phone number at 573-339-0184, and we can help assist them to get them enrolled.
And if there's someone, say, in the community that knows a child or a family, do you all take references from people in the community that think, well, I don't know them well enough to ask them, but maybe you might suggest it?
Absolutely, and a lot of times some of our best referral sources are from families that are already in the program that say, hey, I've got this relative that really is interested in being involved, and they can let us know and we can reach out to them as well.
Okay, well, thank you. So good luck in your new position. It's
Thank
very
you.
exciting that you get to not only be a one-on-one mentor for a child, but then also figure out ways to help them even more. So
I think so. Thank you, Audra.
It's really nice to meet you.
Thank you, you
and
too.
Again, congratulations.
Thank
on your
you
new
so
position.
much.
We've been talking today with Big Brothers Big Sisters Senior Program Director Becky Simfer. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us today for Cape Chronicle. The program is a collaboration between the Department of Mass Media at Southeast Missouri State University, the City of Cape Girardeau, and River Radio Group, comprised of 93.9 The River, K103, KZIM, KSIM, Real Rock 99.3, and SEMO ESPN. Our executive producer is Jim Dufek. I'm Audra Kang. Thanks for watching. So we'll just